Let's welcome in Taylor Shire from Saskatchewan, Post Media. This is just, it's been a great season. What a wild week we're going to have in the Canadian Football League, Taylor.
You know what? It seems like every week we have these game of the week, right? Debate, I think. And any given week, there's at least 2 or 3, if not all 4 games with some intrigue. And this week is.
It's crazy. You look at, you got the top 2 seeds in each division in Montreal playing Saskatchewan. That, typically would be the game of the week. But how do we not have BC and Winnipeg as the game of the week because of the Nathan Rourke factor? And, Farhan was on here earlier this week talking about it. He moves the needle in every market in this country. And let's just start there. That's probably the biggest storyline of the week.
Yeah, really, with it being his first start, I think a lot of eyeballs will be on him coming back to BC. I don't know if it's been officially determined that he will start, but it sounds like he's going to get all the practice reps. And with Vernon Adams Jr. out with an injury, I don't see how Nathan Rourke doesn't get the start. I think he's more than capable. So, yeah, to me, that, outside of, Trevor Harris returning from injury in Saskatchewan, that's also a pretty big storyline in the CFL. It's hard to think that's overshadowed with all the sort of base that, or all the fans that Saskatchewan has. I think, like you said, a lot of eyeballs will be on that BC game because of the intrigue that Nathan Rourke is.
Yeah, seriously. You look up and down the Canadian Football League just this week. And this is a couple of the notes that we have, and there's more. But, Cody Fajardo's coming back in Montreal. Jeremiah Masoli's starting for Ottawa. Taylor Powell's starting in Hamilton as Levi Mitchell is benched. Toronto has the situation where the 9 games have passed for Chad Kelly's suspension, so that situation's ongoing as they're in the bye week. Saskatchewan's getting Trevor Harris back at quarterback. Trey Ford's questionable in day-to-day. Nathan Rourke's going to start in BC. It's Calgary and Hamilton, in Winnipeg, that don't have the question marks at quarterback. But for Winnipeg, they're going to get Kenny Lawler back, who's maybe the best receiver in the Canadian Football League. And, Calgary's got some intrigue trying to remain perfect at home. The storylines are the best. I don't even know where you want to begin in terms of the best storyline this week.
Well, there's so many. Obviously, I'm focused on the Trevor Harris one here in Saskatchewan. He sort of kind of practiced last week. Obviously, he didn't make his return against the Red Blacks, and then full practice this week. Number 1 on the depth chart this morning, and will make his return from the injured list tomorrow. So to me, that one carries the biggest intrigue because I think Saskatchewan is a different team with Trevor Harris. I think Shea Pedersen did just fine in his 6 starts. He didn't go out and seize every game and go win every game. He certainly won them a few games, but he had a 2-3-1 record, and the team is still in first place, so it's not like he played poorly, but this has always been Trevor Harris's team. They're paying him the money to be the starting quarterback, so when Trevor Harris is healthy, he's going to come back and take over this team, and that's really what's going to happen this week. And I think they are better. So an interesting matchup because Montreal coming in here at 8-1, battle of 2 first-place teams. They met just a few weeks ago, and it was 20-16, and the Riders had a 16-3 lead at the half until Davis Alexander came in and kind of made a name for himself in the second half. So while there's a lot of intrigue around the league, and it's nice that they're all spread out so we can watch them all. But certainly Friday night under the lights at Mosaic Stadium will be a good one.
Well, we learned this morning, and we kind of had inklings throughout the week, an inclination. Trevor Harris is going to start. A.J. Ouellette is back in the backfield. Jameer Thurman's back in the middle linebacker spot. There's some weapons coming back. Cody Fajardo back for the Montreal Alouettes. Tyson Philpott won't be, but there's a lot of intrigue in this game, and Saskatchewan's getting healthier. So with Saskatchewan getting healthier, if they can stay healthy and Trevor Harris can remain on the field, how do you like Saskatchewan's chances, not only to contend, for a home playoff game, but be legitimate Grey Cup contenders in Corey Mace's first year?
Yeah, the one kind of thing that changed for them this week was outside of the organization with Nathan Rourke coming back. And I think, I don't want to say BC all of a sudden is the Grey Cup favorite because they probably were before Nathan Rourke, as Vernon Adams was playing at such a high level. But I think that's maybe the biggest change is them having to contend with whatever Nathan Rourke brings to the Lions in his return. So I can't say Saskatchewan, although they're in first place, I can't say they're going to be the West Grey Cup favorite. I still say I don't really see any issues that they have in their lineup that wouldn't. I mean, you got to play the games, right? But they clearly look like the East Division favorites. BC, I will say, with the addition of Nathan Ork, it's hard to say they're not the West Division favorites, but they play the games for a reason, right? And Saskatchewan, you mentioned home playoff game. The second seed is still a home playoff game, so I think they're on track for that. Getting healthier, getting bodies returning. If they can stay healthy down the stretch here, I think they certainly do have a good chance of securing at least one of the 2 home playoff games. Okay,
so answer our poll question. You only get one choice. It's who's the Grey Cup favorite today, your Grey Cup favorite. You got, $100. You're going to put it down on Montreal, BC, Saskatchewan, or other.
I mean, it's just hard not to say BC, right? At home. Nathan Ork coming back. Vernon Adams is there if they need him. It's hard not to see, although you can make a case for any one of them, right? And that's why that's such a good question, because really, you could say any one of those things. You could say Edmonton's going to make this miraculous comeback if Trey Ford stays healthy and keeps rattling off games and they get hot, right? You can make a case for almost any team in the league. I won't say a couple of teams that I certainly wouldn't be putting my money on, but it's a lot of intrigue season here.
Yeah, it really is. It's going to be fun to watch it play out, in the second half of the season. Look, before we let you go, what is the vibe, around Saskatchewan and this team? Good crowd last home game. The crowds are maybe increasing a little bit. And now you get some weapons back and your franchise quarterback is back in the lineup. I would say things are trending up today.
Yeah, I think they certainly are. And obviously health does matter. Winning, I think, is the most important thing with the fan base and getting people back into the stadium. We're just not seeing the sellouts that we have seen. And I think it's maybe just a Canadian Football League trend, even a North American sports trend where we don't see the sellouts all the time. So there is some concern around why people aren't coming back to the games in the stadium, even though they are winning. I think the TV numbers are still high, though. So there's eyeballs on this league. So I think, that is trending upwards. I mean, the sort of momentum that this team is carrying is trending upwards. That just hasn't really translated to butts and seats quite yet. And I mean, that's the big question for every sports organization. How do you get more people to show up to your games? Winning is obviously the number one thing. So if this team can continue to win, I think that will only continue to progress attendance-wise as the season goes on.
Taylor, I appreciate this and appreciate your time jumping on this morning, and enjoy the games this week. It should be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a good week. Thanks for the chat.
You bet. Taylor Shire joining us from Post Media, covering the CFL and the Saskatchewan Roughriders.